Grease traps. Grease traps. What are they? What are they for? Why do restaurants need them? Usually, the first question that comes out of my mouth if somebody says they have a second generation restaurant is, does it have a grease trap? How big is it? The main reason for that is grease traps are expensive. It's a hole in the ground that's got to be filled in. What exactly is a grease trap? Let me tell you. Wikipedia says a grease trap, also known as a grease interceptor, which there is a difference and we'll get to that. Grease recovery device, grease converter, is a plumbing device, a type of trap designed to intercept most greases and solids before they enter a wastewater disposal system. Common wastewater contains small amounts of oils which enter into septic tanks and treatment facilities to form a floating scum layer. It's very sexy, I understand that. This scum layer is very slowly digested and broken down by microorganisms in the anaerobic digestion process. Large amounts of oil from food preparation in restaurants can overwhelm a septic tank or treatment facility, causing release of untreated sewage into the environment. No bueno. High viscosity fats and cooking grease such as lard solidify when cooled and can combine with other disposed solids to block drain pipes. So what does this mean? It basically means that restaurants, of course, put out a whole lot of grease. They're called FOGs, F-O-Gs. So you've got food, fats, oils, and greases. That's FOG, so that's the acronym to remember. Fats, oils, greases. So the fats, oils, and the greases, obviously restaurants put out a lot more than most businesses or most domiciles, places of residence, whatever it may be. So what has to happen is you need an intermediary put into there. So the grease traps basically, and I'm going to show a picture of it right now. As you can see, a grease trap has a wall in between the two, and there is a pipe that basically, once the water comes into the one side, the grease separates to the top and the food goes to the bottom, and then the water goes into another chamber where that's allowed to happen again, and then that water, which has a lot less fog in it, moves on to the public wastewater system. Now, these systems are not tapped into the septic tank. They are exclusive of each other. So the water that's being used for toilets is going in another direction, totally another route. This is coming from your 3-compartment sinks. It's coming from your dishwashers. It's coming from your drainage behind the bars. As you know, well, if you've ever washed dishes before, and I've done plenty of it, you use hot water. Why do you use hot water? Because it dissolves the grease and gets the butter and gets the oils off of the plates. Well, what happens when that water gets, or when those oils get back into the system and go out and get back to room temperature again, or back into 70 degrees or whatever it may be? Of course, they solidify again. All that caca in the water system is not a good thing. So that's basically what they do. Somebody asked me what's the difference between a grease interceptor and a grease trap. It's a grease interceptor basically handles a lot more volume. So you're talking about 50,000 gallons or more would go through a grease interceptor. Basically, with a grease interceptor, you don't have a pipe between a wall. You basically just have what they call a baffle. So the water would come in this way, separate, goes up underneath, comes up over here, and then that would go into a grease trap where it could be refined and the grease is cut out even more. Now, I've gone to plenty of restaurants that I've looked into, and getting a grease trap cleaned out it's a considerable expense, but it has to be done. And you'd be surprised how many restaurants I go into that are looking to lease and the grease traps have never been touched. Most times, a lot of guys won't even realize the grease traps aren't working until all of a sudden it's backflowing on a Saturday night and they can't understand why all of a sudden the restaurant smells. So it's something to stay on top of. It's a very important thing, and it's a great expense that another reason why second generation restaurant space is so valuable for someone that's looking to do a restaurant. I mean, you're talking about $100,000 of expense that's already taken care of. All right, so that's about it, everybody. That gives you an idea of what a grease trap is, a grease interceptor is. They're very important for restaurants. They're a considerable expense. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down there. If you want to add anything to the conversation, please do. Also, I'm on YouTube at South Florida's Restaurant Guy. I do reviews. Going to start doing some interviews with the people that make our favorite restaurants in South Florida great. I also deal in second generation restaurant space. So if you're looking, or you know somebody who's looking for space, or you have space that you want to put on the market, please let me know. You can reach me at john@azorrestaurantadvisors.com. That's John, John, at azorrestaurantadvisors.com, and be happy to take a look and see how we can do business together. All right, everybody, I really appreciate you guys watching this. Please, share it, like it, subscribe to my channel. It's all good stuff, just trying to have fun, trying to spread a little information out there and keep the love alive. You know what I'm saying. All right, you guys, take care.